Greetings, everyone. Craig Hester here with the Detente Watch Group and R2AWatches.com. Have we got some exciting news today? This is brand new from Vostok-Europe of Vilnius, Lithuania, where every watch is hand-assembled by a team of 7 watchmakers. And their watches are built for going to extremes, but that's not the main focus today. The main focus today is the fact that there are 7 new models out that have the Vostok, adjustable Russia, different company than Vostok-Europe, 2432, 32 jewel Russian-made movement in them. This is the first time in quite a while that a new set of watches with the Vostok movement of adjustable Russia has come out from Vostok-Europe, and we are super excited about it. There's 7 new models out. I'm only going to talk about 4 today because this is also the first time in quite a while that a new radio room has come out. Now, I'm going to assume that most people watching this video are familiar with why we call watches the radio room. So I'm going to tell that story at the end of the video. Right now, I'm just going to focus on what's new about this and the different styles. First of all, you'll notice this is no longer that this is a new case being used for the radio room. Previously, the radio rooms used the N1 rocket case. Now, those of you who know Vostok-Europe are going to know this is the Expedition North Pole case, but that doesn't mean that it's an Expedition North Pole. It is a radio room watch. There are 4 new styles. This is the one that's the most like the original clock, with the red and white configuration. Then there's also the red and black with the all black PVD case. So this is kind of just an offshoot of the red and black original. Then there's 2 very different ones. We have done this color combination before, at least to a degree. It's a little bit different, but you haven't seen it again in the Expedition case as the radio room. This is that beautiful blue PVD with the teal-ish colored wedges, which I'll get to in a minute, explaining what those are and what that's all about with the radio room. Again, the 32 jewel Vostok movement. Again, Vostok of adjustable Russia. That is the 32 jewel hand-built movement of adjustable Russia being used in a Vostok. This is a color combo you've never seen from Vostok-Europe. It is this kind of electric blue. It's really amazing with this steely gray. And I got to tell you, this color combo is only available from us here in the United States. So if you want this one, you have to get it from the Detente Watch Group or one of our authorized retailers. It's not being released to anyone else. The other 3 are actually being released to one other distributor in the world. So it actually is a pretty small number of places that these are going to be available. Now, let me give you the specs on this, and then we're going to go into the radio room story. I'm going to use the white and red since it is the one that's the most like the clock. You can see the clock over here in the distance, the original radio room clock. First of all, specs, if you don't know the Expedition North Pole, this is a 200-meter water-resistant watch, so it is a true dive quality watch. Second of all, it is surgical-grade stainless steel. All of these are. Some of them are plated, but they're surgical-grade stainless steel. It does have the K1 mineral crystal on the front and back. K1, that gives you nearly the scratch resistancy of sapphire and nearly the shatter resistancy of mineral. So it's a perfect crystal for a sport watch, which most all Vostok-Europes are sport watches. And the crystal on this is actually 3.5 millimeters thick. I mean, the crystal is thicker than the strap, thicker than most bracelets. So this is a solid single case build on this. These are just really super well-made cases on this. You can beat the heck out of this case, and it's just going to last and last and last. And then the main spec on this is it is the 2432, 32 jewel. There's your number right there. 32 jewel Vostok movement in this one, made by Vostok Company of Adjustable Russia, which is a different company than Vostok-Europe of Vilnius, Lithuania. The 2 main complications on this watch, other than the date, because it's a mechanical, the date is a complication, and this is an automatic timepiece. You have the 24-hour indicator in the top, curved, cut out on the dial, and then at the bottom there is a day-night indicator, which moves throughout the day. Both of these indicators were advents created for submariners. because you can't just look outside and see whether it's morning or night when you're in a submarine, or for people who are in the land of the midnight sun, in terms of being, say, in Alaska or way up past Norway or so forth. So that is what the movement is all about. The previous one that was done in the radio room was done on the M1 rocket case, would have had the dual time. Now, what is the radio room? We're already at 5 minutes here, so I'm going to do this quickly. Radio room goes back to the Titanic disaster. These are the clocks that are in all seagoing vessels now. They have these wedges or pie pieces. One of the things that led to the loss of life on the Titanic was the inability for the guys in the radio room to get out their message, their SOS on the radio. I'm going to show you some other styles again as I'm rotating through here so you can just get a little better look at all of them. There's the red and black. So what the International Maritime Commission created the Radio Room Act of 1912 after the Titanic disaster, which mandated these radio silence periods. And that's what these 3-minute periods at every quarter hour are intended to do. You can't go on the radio with anything but emergency flash traffic. Where the light coloring is at the 12 and 6 o'clock position, you can only use Morse code. Where the full solid color is on the 2 left-right wedges at the 3 and 9 o'clock position, you can actually talk and you can get out your SOS. This is so you're not competing with anybody else who's just chattering on the radio about anything about what their cargo is, or let's meet for a beer in port or whatever. So they know that at least in every 15-minute interval, you've got an opportunity of radio silence to get your message out. Why did we do this in a Vostok-Europe watch with a Vostok movement? Well, Vostok, the original company, they make the clocks, and they still make them to this day, the radio room clocks that are used in Russian naval vessels and many other vessels. They're mechanical 8-day wind-up clocks, and so we insisted on using the Vostok movement for the all radio room watches that we build with Vostok-Europe. This was originally our idea. The whole radio room concept started with the Détente Watch Group, and we're quite proud of that. There have been, something like 13 different executions now. It is one of the most popular and collectible of all Vostok-Europe watches. You do not want to miss out on this, guys. These are only 500 each, limited for the world. That's a very low number for Vostok-Europe. Usually they do 3,000 pieces. So if you are interested in this, you don't want to hesitate. You want to grab them quickly, because once they are gone, they are probably gone. We rarely repeat the same radio room. So there you have it. Those are some of the basic specs, what the radio room story is, and we are excited to have new models with the automatic 32-jewel, beautifully decorated Vostok movement of Chistopol, Russia, in a Vostok-Europe radio room with the exciting new option that it comes in the Expedition North Pole case. I'm Craig Hester with the Détente Watch Group and R2A Watches. Keep watching.